Well, Nick, I hate to do this, but here we are again. Another night, another pay-per-view, another month, another bad taste left in our mouths.
More problems with Peacock.
Yeah, more problems with Peacock, which when we finally did get to watch, it wasn't very good. So we'll get to that in a second, but you live in Orlando. I'm up here in our hometown in Michigan. Your family is down there for Father's Day. So you've got family here. You took time out of your Father's Day. Can you hear me now? Am I a little better now? You took time out of your Father's Day to watch this pay-per-view. My brother flew in from Dallas. He is here. I spent time instead watching this pay-per-view. There was an epic Game 7 in the NBA tonight. Trae Young knocks off the process tonight in Philadelphia. Instead, we get to watch another show that went absolutely nowhere. And that ends with your supposed, now passed over, apparently for sure after tonight, hero losing in the main event by another distraction finish and a roll-up finish, Nick. It was like they heard everyone saying that for the past however, and they're rubbing it in our face like, oh, you don't like roll-up finishes, do you? Oh, you don't like distraction finishes, do you? We're giving you both in a Hell in a Cell where no one's supposed to get in or out, which they ruined in the very first one to begin with. But anyway, and now this is Drew. How many times has this happened to Drew now where why would I ever cheer for this guy?
He's a clown.
He's a clown. He gets distracted all the time. He's your champ. He's your guy. He's an idiot. Fool me once, fool me 5 times now. Nick, I already went into a match, but man, I know people are going to think we're crazy because they're going to go, there was great wrestling on this show. But
no, there wasn't. These
finishes, man, and it was so obvious what was going to happen. I mean, we knew who was going to win all these matches.
Every match.
Nick, just your general thoughts overall, and then we will start with the main event. I already kind of gave my thoughts on it, but we'll start there. But your overall thoughts, you're not happy with this either.
No, the word predictable, I think, is the pay-per-view. I mean, uneventful. I mean, these are negative words in the wrestling world to me.
Anywhere.
The
world.
Mean, it just, especially when it's entertainment value, right? You know, Ryan, I don't know, man. And it got off to a terrible start with Peacock, you know, and I wrote down a list of reasons I have Peacock, WWE wrestling, and that's it. You know, and I make it work, or I don't want this stupid thing. You know,
now they did allow you to rewind and pause. Finally. Hello, welcome to 10 years ago in DVRs, or 20 years ago.
My VCR could DVR, rewind, and pause. You know, my VCR. So, but, you know, this is, I think me or you have had an issue on every pay-per-view that Peacock has done so far. One of us couldn't get in. We got in late. It was laggy. I guess, I mean, we could go in. I don't want to waste time going in. That kind of got me a bad taste in my mouth going. And then, again, it's just predictable. And so many Hell in the Cell matches. I mean, how many times? An experience like no other. Really? Because we've had like 3 of them in the last couple days.
Well, you know, and they were supposed to have 3 tonight, Nick, but they moved the Roman match to Friday night.
Yeah, a diabolical match we kept hearing. You know, they kept selling this idea, if you've been in more, then you should win more. You know, that didn't work out. I mean, it just, I don't know, man. A career-ending match, they sell all this stuff. Whose career has been ended in this?
Right.
I mean, who? At what point? I mean, I think this match is, if I don't see a Hell in a Cell match for 5 years, I will not be upset.
That was the other thing, Nick. You know, you and I said this. Now, they normally do it once a year in October, and it was one match. Then it became two matches. Then this last one, we had 3 Hell in a Cell matches at this last pay-per-view in October. We didn't even go a full year. Here we are in June, and we've got 3 more Hell in a Cell matches. I mean, there's nothing else you can possibly do in here. Maybe a kind of something here or there. We saw Sasha and Bailey a little bit with the kendo sticks between the. Well, they did that twice tonight. Again, both matches had that. We've seen Mick Foley in the second ever Hell in a Cell fly off the cell twice. Now we've seen Shane McMahon do it a couple times. We've seen on the other channel guys fly off the cage. Chris Jericho. What else can you possibly do here? It's hard enough to do one of these a night, let alone 3 in one weekend. It just, I'm done with it, man. And, Nick, it's been how many years? 24 years now? 1997 was the first Hell in a Cell, and they're still treating this like it's, like they just came up with it last Tuesday.
Like it's something you've never seen before. You know,
right. And it's going to, like you said, oh, this has ended careers. Whose? I saw Foley fly off a kid. I saw a non-wrestler, Shane McMahon, do it twice. Didn't kill them. You know,
maybe better to say it has made some people's careers.
Right.
You know,
yeah, not ended them. It started them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to Peacock, man, and it wasn't just us. I tried to start the thing. I know there's many other people out there that the same thing happened to, because I tweeted at Peacock. It told me that the show was already over. This show has concluded.
Yes.
This show. So I tweeted a picture of that, and I'm like, hey, Peacock, what's up with this? And within 5 minutes, it had like 25 likes. People, me too, same thing. And then they put up the picture of the cat that says something went wrong with the giant eyes. They're like, I got this. I'm like, I got that too. So it wasn't just us, and other journalists out there all said that they were getting numerous people saying, hey,
and this was over multiple internet services too.
So let's start at the end, then we'll go back to the beginning. It did start with the ladies' Hell in a Cell match, but let's start with the end one. We get Bobby and Drew for the 4,000th time. Now, you mentioned it, dude. WrestleMania is supposed to be like the end of feuds. You might get one more pay-per-view or rematch or something the next month. We are now in June, and we are still seeing dang near every match on this show is some sort of rematch from WrestleMania. So this is 4,000th edition of Bobby
3 months later.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of impact. The match was actually, pretty well worked. There was a suplex into the cage that I thought was sweet. And like I said, after everything, it ends with a distraction finish roll up. And that's what I'm going home remembering. I'm not remembering all the power moves for the 20 minutes before that. I'm remembering this finish and Drew McIntyre sitting there looking like a goof.
Every time. That's what it was. I think it was the best match of the night, hands down. I do not like any of the other matches. I'll be honest with you, right to go. I thought it was a good Hell in a Cell match. They took some huge shots, some huge bumps. There were some cool moves, some power moves, had everything in there. And I don't know if anybody else was out there. I'm sitting there waiting to hear Lesnar's music. Yeah. I'm sitting there waiting to hear Kofi's music or something, because I'm like, this can't just end. This has been a boring pay-per-view the entire night. Nothing has happened. It's been predictable the entire night. And they end it the same way WrestleMania. I mean, obviously it was a hurt lock that got him but it was a distraction finish. Drew McIntyre, as you said, looked like a fool, looked like a clown, got distracted again. I don't know how you save this guy at this point. I mean, with this gimmick, it's just, this was a bad finish. And I don't know, when the pay-per-view ended, I'm still sitting there going, this is it? I mean, no one's coming out. This is it? I mean, this is What you tell me, Ryan, why am I tuning in tomorrow night?
I don't know why I tuned in tonight. Like, I mean, seriously, we already laid that out. Exactly. Because at some point something has to happen because there's nobody else for Bobby to fight right now. And we are 2 months away from SummerSlam. But we're 2 months away from SummerSlam, so they have time to do something. But yeah, man, I don't know. I do not know, dude. This is I would assume Lesnar's coming up at some point, or Kofi is going to turn. But if Kofi turns, well, then he's going to fight. He's turning to join Lashley, right? He's not turning to like fight Lashley, because then he wouldn't be turning. So I don't know what I expected that, especially because they took the main event off this show and put it on SmackDown Friday. So at that point, you're like, okay, something's up. They're going to end this in some certain kind of way. And they absolutely didn't. The fall of Drew McIntyre, man. 1 year ago right now, he was on a high and people really appreciated him and people wished they could have seen him, but we were in the pandemic and people really liked what he did. Oh man, he really took us through this pandemic.
He did. I'll give him that. He was one of the best things out there to watch, if not the best thing, at least in the male division, to watch.
But the last at least 6 months and even the end of 2020, when he lost to Orton, then he loses to Roman, and then 2021 has just been bad for him.
He got a sword.
And then they gave him the sword, and he looks like a goof, and he's out here telling stories about old Scotland and all this stuff. It's like, dude.
Reliving Braveheart.
Yeah, don't care, man. Do not care. Get out of here. Yep. Put paint in his face. They vinced him up, man. They vinced him up. And it sucks because it's not that he can never be a champion again.
No, but he's just a dude.
It's over. Like for right now, it's over. It's done. His time has passed. And I don't know what they do with him now. I don't
either. And a ton of people have pinned him. Like you said,
right?
I mean, Orton has a win over him. Sheamus has a win over him.
Lashley's
Bobby
got
has
a
couple wins over him. There's a handful of people that have had wins over this guy.
He pinned Bobby on Monday, so that evens it all out.
Right. Well, that didn't do anything to help Lashley.
Now Lashley's been pinned twice in the last month.
Yeah.
They just don't get it. But the thing is, they do get it on the other channel. That's what doesn't make any sense. They do get it on SmackDown. No one's touching Roman.
And he looks awesome.
And guess what? Oh, and shockingly, he looks terrific. Can't figure that out. I don't know why that, All right, Nick, well, let's jump back to the very beginning of the show. They open up with the first Hell in a Cell. It's Bianca against Bayley, SmackDown Women's title. Mm-hmm. There's been a fairly decent feud. I don't know that the Bianca title reign so far has been as strong as maybe they hoped. This was a good match. It was slightly disappointing. I don't think it was a great match by any stretch. I was somewhat bored. And maybe the biggest thing is going in here, there was no way Bayley was winning this because they are not ready for Bianca to lose yet. So to me, it was just kind of like, all right, just get to the finish here. Yep. What do you got?
I said the match is definitely for the younger generation of fans, the millennials and post-millennials, because the feud is over someone laughing at someone else and offending them. Right. So, that's the story going in. Bianca had never been or didn't like being laughed at by Bayley. I mean, that's what I'm supposed to get into. Yeah. She was laughed at, and I went through the match. I wrote down there was cool moments, backflip off the turnbuckle. Bianca has the talent, man. This girl, there's something there. I don't know if they're going to get it, but there's something there. Sunset flip sending Bianca into the cage by Bayley. That was a pretty cool move. Bailey flipped over her and slammed her into the cage.
Yep.
Bianca freaking pressing the stairs and then whipping them at Bailey. That was cool. Downside, I'm going to say, and I hope I'm not trying to offend. I feel like Bianca's hair is almost,
I'm sick of it.
It's being used against her more than like it's almost like IRS's tie, if you will. It's becoming a negative for the person wearing it, you know? And again, you like it, you like it. You don't, I don't really care. But I'm just saying, if from a reality point, if that was me, I would be looking at my past matches saying, this keeps getting like, it's going to cost me a match here, you know?
Every match, Nick. Every match since she has been in like a main focus on SmackDown, every single match, the hair plays a part. And
I think it would be as if like Luger kept losing from his own plate or Valentine kept losing from his own leg guard.
Hammer jammer, dude.
Yeah. I mean, and I do feel, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, I think it's taking away from her.
Yeah.
I think everybody just sees the hair and they're not. She is a physical specimen. She is amazing. She can talk a little bit. And the more they give her the mic, I think she's getting better. She looks great. She's a powerhouse. It would be almost if Jake kept his snake in a glass container. And I don't mean that. I'm not trying to be funny here. The snake would draw the attention. That's why they kept it in a bag. You couldn't see it until the end of the match. It's pulling from her. I really feel that, and I like her. I think she's good. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a good finish, man. That I don't know what they called it, some sort of kiss of death, KOD.
KOD, I think, on the ladder.
On the ladder.
That was cool.
Post-interview, she comes out. I wrote it down for Bailey kicked my butt, and I will never forgive her for that. And then she went, what the hell?
Yeah,
that's I didn't get that either. And I think she messed up there, and
she may have forgotten.
Maybe to say Bailey laughed or insulted me, and I'll never forget that. But Bailey kicked my butt, and I'll never forget that. Like, that's weird. The match was okay, like you said, very predictable. I think we're all glad Bianca held the belt because we want to see where she can go with this. I'm just still. I told you I liked Bailey last year. I am just so disappointed in where Bailey has fallen. I think she is terrible again now. She was my favorite. I've said this on multiple shows you've had. She was my favorite wrestler at this point last year in the world. Not men, not
guy and girl.
Wrestler. She was my favorite. I couldn't think she could be worse right now. This ding dong.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's awful. And everything seems like she's trying. Yep. She's trying too hard. I don't know, right? And that's not. In a nutshell, that's what I would say about that match. Decent match, not outstanding, very predictable finish.
Yeah, I liked the finish.
She was winning.
The KOD on the thing, but I already said it. What else can you do with these? And this is where I wrote that down. It was like, this match was just, like, there's nothing else we can do with these matches. There's just nothing else we can do. And I completely agree with the hair. I've said that since before, even last year when she first started getting a push on the main roster. I'm like, I think she's great, but that hair sucks. And that's before they even started incorporating it into every single match that she has.
Yep. It overshadows her.
Yeah, it's just stupid. Why do you have it? Get rid of it. And I think it just I don't know. I just think it looks dumb. I don't like her skipping down. I love her. If she cut her hair, I think it'd be great.
She has a chance to be huge, I think. A big name. I mean.
Yeah. So I thought, well, you know what? Let's skip it. We'll go to the match first. We'll keep all of this together. The next match is Cesaro and Rollins. I was having more issues with Peacock here. This is where I told you I was getting locked out and all this. From what I saw, it was a decent match, which you knew it would be. But once again, this feud has been going on now
3 months.
Ever. Since before Mania. Here we are again. And the Rollins character to me, has been change the channel. Or if I'm watching on DVR, fast
I love
forward.
him, but I agree. I love him. But
I'm a guy who told everybody that he would be the best Shield member. He would be the breakout star from the get-go. That's the guy. Everybody else like Ambrose or Ron, like, no. This guy. I cannot even watch this, right? It is so bad. It's so bad. It's DDP in 1995 bad. He's got every gimmick in the world with his stupid suits and all this. The laugh, it's just click. And he fighting Cesaro for the 1,000th time. So I don't even know what has happened because I literally have fast forwarded or changed the channel if I'm watching live. So I just didn't care.
I can tell you, this was awful. Cesaro got freaking stomped into the concrete pavement, like right at the ramp 2 weeks ago. I mean, that's a pretty devastating move. So you would think the next time, if someone stomped my head into the curb outside
I'd
American History X style, you'd probably that. But if I wasn't, the next time I saw them, I might be a little upset or come after them.
They might be a vegetable.
Fast forward to Friday, Rollins just walks out, interrupts Cesaro's interview, and Cesaro just pushes him out of a chair. That was the go home for this. Cesaro pushed Rollins over, literally out of a chair.
That'll teach him.
Yeah, that was even. I'm going to stomp your face into concrete. You get to push me out of a chair in a ring. It just, there was nowhere to go. Like you said, this feud has been done. They have been feuding for 3+ months now. I don't know. I thought the match got off to a hot start when that's how it should have. The next time Cesaro's seen him or something, if you stomp me, he come before the music. They should have kept Cesaro out after he had his face stomped in the ground. Rollins comes out first, and before Rollins hits the ring, the first time you see Cesaro, he's out. Just you almost ended my freaking career, dude.
Mm-hmm.
No, they didn't do that. Solid match, good finish, predictable. They kept mentioning, you knew it. They kept saying Cesaro's 2-0 versus this guy. Cesaro's 2-0 versus this guy. The other guy's going to win then. I mean, he's got to win. And I feel Cesaro has now lost 2 straight pay-per-views.
He's done. That's the last thing I got written down. Cesaro's push lasted a month and a half.
Again, for everybody else,
he's back down the card.
That's going to trash you on this, dude. Me and you are Cesaro fans. We like Cesaro.
If you didn't hear our previous shows, the WrestleMania show, we said, okay, where does Roman go now? Can they have Cesaro ready for him for SummerSlam? We didn't know what's going on. We're just throwing names out there. How big can he be by SummerSlam? Could he be ready to fight Roman? No, they gave it to him 3 weeks later. He lost, and now he has lost to Rollins. So they've shown, you're not better than these guys. Back down the card, Sonny.
He'll be Fit Finley by SummerSlam. That's
yeah, and we thought he'd be main event by SummerSlam, and instead he's going to be Fit Finley.
Yep.
Yeah. I where does he go now? What does he do? Yeah, to me, he may be a hair higher than he was 6 months ago, but he's back down the card.
Yeah, he's not main event anymore.
He's not even close.
Nope. Ruined him.
How about Rollins? What do they do here? Obviously, everybody thinks that Cena is hopefully going to fight at SummerSlam against Roman. If not, is Rollins a viable guy to go in there? They did tease a little bit a few weeks ago.
What scares me is Cesaro's face at the end. I don't know that this feud's over.
Oh,
we might have another month. If you noticed at the end, Cesaro looked frustrated. Rollins is still rubbing it in as he walks up the ramp. There was no interference by someone else to shift the feud.
Well, that's something AEW would do.
Yes, you know what? I will bet we will at least see one more of these matches on SmackDown. I don't think this feud's over yet.
Well, I
That's
could
just my
definitely
opinion.
see it on SmackDown. If they have another pay-per-view, I mean, that's just ridiculous.
You say that, but yeah, I hope you're right, dude. I'm done with these two.
Speaking of ridiculous, this is where I was going to go before this match, and I thought this was what we'd really be trashing all night. And we have in the past. Alexa had a promo before this where she's sitting in her swing or whatever and talking about Shayna and talking about whatever, you know, and everybody on earth for the most part is crapping on this. So, you know, we're not breaking any ground here saying the things we're saying, but you know, we are not Bray Wyatt fans. We have not been since the beginning of the Funhouse. I know a lot of people liked the Funhouse at the beginning, and then as things progressed, less and less people liked the Fiend character and all that. I've never liked the Funhouse. I thought it was terrible. This is a million times worse. And it's even more worse because you took someone like Alexa Bliss, who had a good character, who sold her character, who was great at her character. And she's great at this, but this is so bad. This is so bad. I mean, they tweeted something earlier this week, and I don't remember exactly what it was, so I don't remember the dates and the times, but it was like 5 years ago on this day or something like that. And it showed Alexa. And like 5 years ago, 3 years ago on this day, Alexa wins the title. And every response under that tweet was, we want that Alexa back. Can we please get that Alexa back? That's the good Alexa. Can you? Every single one. And there were hundreds of them. Just a total waste. And people can rip on her wrestling, as we've said in the past. It ain't that bad.
No.
Yeah, and she's not Charlotte Flair. Yes, we understand that. She's not Becky Lynch. Yes, we understand that.
No. But
she is not terrible.
She ain't Stevie Ray either.
Yeah, she's not Stevie Ray.
Yeah.
Right. And Charlotte Flair is nobody's going to confuse her for Julia Roberts or anybody either. So
and Alexa Bliss,
she's no Meryl Streep.
Bliss is a gorgeous zombie even too. I mean, she's just beautiful.
Well, that's not where I was going as an actor. You know, she's no Meryl Streep. So
but she's everything. I think she's the greatest female wrestler they have ever had.
Yeah, well, she's at least the best they have. There's no doubt about that. And
I think she's awesome.
Yeah. So then she fights Shayna. And they had Nick, the biggest thing that stood out to me, speaking of wrestling ability, she was throwing like hard shots in here, like strong style stuff. And she's throwing. So I'm like, okay, this is a little different. This isn't bad. They were doing the whole mimic thing where she's screaming at, look in my eyes, look. So she could like get her in a trance. She later does get Nia in a trance. She's mimicking her, ends up smacking Reginald and whatever. Once again, kind of distraction. Sister Abigail, Twisted Bliss, Alexa wins. Nothing happens again. Nothing. So we still don't know why, how, what. How did Alexa get this power? Why does she have this power? Where is the Fiend? What's going on here? Why is this happening? We still don't know anything, dude.
We were told to expect the unexpected in this match. That was what we were told going in.
Yeah, what's that? That Nia's going to slap Reggie? Guess what? Guess who cares about that? I don't even think Reggie cares.
It was terrible. I think this is Alexa. This might be Alexa's worst match. I did not like the match. I thought it was crap. I'm not a Shayna Baszler fan either. I don't think
she's toast.
Well, she's the feud.
She's been toast, but she's toast.
To only top the feud of laughing at someone, they topped it with the feud over a doll.
Yeah, right. I mean, that whole thing was just where she's running. She's running from the doll. She gets in a room and she's all scared. There just happens to be a camera there and a mirror. For I mean,
Alexa's got a pyro guy like the Fiend.
Right.
Has a pyro guy. You know,
Can
she's gonna
change the monitors,
she's
make
gonna
the
burn
fans
her
go
alive.
away.
Yeah, it's just unreal. And we've been saying it. This has not only been for months, this has now been for years. These demonic demon zombie people are having the worst match on the card, whether it's AEW or TNT or TNA
TNA,
Impact
yeah.
or WWE. It's the worst match on the freaking card, almost to a T every pay-per-view. And I'm sorry if people like some of the Darby Allin matches, maybe that's fine, whatever. But
Well, he
these
doesn't do this stuff. He's just a
right, I guess
weirdo.
that's true. He's
Yeah,
just weird, but
he
I
doesn't
mean
like
the
light
who's
people on fire.
the Botchlander on Botchy W.
Well, she's an alien now.
Yeah,
It's
I mean
totally different.
the
She's here from
Fiend,
planet
this
Neptar.
what's that? Rosemary on the other channel.
Rosemary. You
Mary. Oh
got
my
your
God.
favorite and my favorite and everyone's favorite, Abaddon.
Abaddon. These are the worst matches on the. I don't understand who is still like. And I guess if you like it,
Yeah,
again, good
great.
for you. I'm happy for
I'm
you if
glad
you
you
think
do.
it's because I'm not mad because I wish I did. I just hate it. I think it is the dumbest thing. And I think it's unwatchable. I think it's a channel changer. And I think it loses you viewers.
Oh, I think it does. I absolutely think it does. I don't. You're seeing it, man. You know, at first people thought it was just us. Oh, you guys just don't like horror movies, or you
I
guys
love
just
horror.
want regular wrestling. You want Lex Luger and Hulk Hogan, and well, that was like 15 months ago. Then about 8 months ago, people were like, a year ago, remember the swamp match and all that. And like then a few more people were like, holy crap, this is bad. Then something else happened, something else. Then the man got lit on fire, and people were like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And then he came back from the dead and jumped out of a jack in a box, only to die again, or whatever happened to like and people are just like, get off my television. Get off my TV. But now we have to see this girl do this for no reason. And people are probably sitting there going, let the story play out. Let it play out. Where's it going to go?
Where's it going?
Where's it going to go?
And how is it going to be any different than what we saw all last year with the Fiend?
Well, and even if they do, what if they say, well, the Fiend gave her the power and she's Sister Abigail? All right. Then what? Then what does she do? Nothing? Swing on a swing? Like, what else can you possibly do? They tried to light a man on fire. Or they did, apparently. What else can you do?
Randy Orton
chop his head off? What are you going to do?
Randy Orton blocked a fireball.
Yes, from Alexa. Literally blocked a fireball. He was burnt to a crisp one week. The next week, he was modeling in GQ magazine.
Multiple times now with Shayna and Alexa, we've seen this girl with force powers pull down parts of the building and try to kill people with the
Obi-Wan Alexa.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I just, and again, if you like it, great. I just think it's stupid. It is a channel changer. It doesn't fit in the realm of reality that wrestling is.
Even if it did, it still sucks. It's terrible. It's terrible.
I'm with you. It is. And I think it was the worst match of the night by far.
I think it's the worst segment of every night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think it's close. There is nothing that's worse. And they have a lot of bad TV. There is nothing that is worse than this. Every single.
Let me ask you a question, Ryan. Can they just switch her back?
Well, that's the other thing. I said that from the get-go. I'm like, did you permanently ruin this girl?
What do you do?
You know what? I think this is so bad that if she were to just show up tomorrow,
they might applaud. Yeah, maybe.
They might, like in front of fans, if she just comes out and like maybe just kind of like goes, like, yeah, we know it sucked. Everybody be like, hey, we don't even care that you just screwed up everything. We don't care. Just bring it back.
Didn't they actually do that with her? And didn't they give her a really bad segment once when she was out in the ring and she turned in the middle of the match, and she came out there kind of even the next week and was just like, Sorry, guys, they made me frickin' do it. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
she turned into that character in the middle of the match like twice. I think she like flip flopped, and I hear people say that too. Well, they're only doing this because of the pandemic. They're not going to keep doing this. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that Bray Wyatt just started a year ago. I'm sorry, I didn't know that. Oh, I guess the last however many years was actually just the last 12 months. Where is the time gone? No, they were doing this a long time ago.
yep.
And now they're just doing it with her.
I feel bad for her. What a waste of talent. What a
Absolute
waste of
waste.
talent.
Absolute
She's
waste of
amazing.
talent. Absolute, complete waste of talent. I won't. If they do, if they just bring her back, and we hate when they just drop storylines,
I know we do.
I'll be completely fine with this one.
Yep. I won't say a word either.
Just
I was
take the
wondering.
L.
Yep.
Take the
Yep.
L, and we that won't even be an L. It's a dub. That's a dub for everybody.
You know what? Those of you who are horror fans, it's like the Michael Myers films. Some of them just didn't freaking happen.
Yeah, I guess his head got cut off. Wait, no, it didn't. Oh,
no, it didn't. 3 and 4, or was it 4 and 5 with the little girl? They didn't happen.
Never
okay,
happened.
Fine.
Never happened.
Whether you like it or not, I just accepted it. Okay, they didn't happen. I still like Mike. We're going to go on with this, and that's what we'll do, I guess, with Alexa. You're right. She'll just come out, and she'll be the little Miss Priss, and okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll be more than okay, cool. I will be standing up, cheering. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Part 7006. Go ahead. I'll let you take this.
He said that. They were like, this is like game 7 between the two of these. No. This is like game 700 between the two of these guys. I don't know what. I think it was at one of the announcers said
the Lakers and Celtics in the finals again.
Jeez, how many times are we going to see this? And here is another instance. This is what I was saying about the medical team.
And this isn't the finals. This is the first round, by the way. This is not NBA. Okay, go ahead.
This is another one where somehow this guy was medically cleared to wrestle. KO can't breathe. He's coughing up blood.
Yes.
He's cool, though. Doctors cleared him. This is they play this doctor, you can't wrestle, you're held back sometimes.
Dominic Mysterio a couple weeks ago. He gets a garbage can thrown on him. A plastic garbage can. Hey, he could possibly die.
Yeah. This guy is coughing up blood, could have a collapsed trachea. We don't know. He's out there fighting. No, he's cool. He passed the test. He's good.
Yeah.
You know, it was quite, I don't know. It was very predictable. Match was not, I didn't think it was anything special. I mean, it was
good. I just don't care.
I didn't think it was great. I just thought it was okay. I'm with you. I've seen these guys. I've seen them a million times. And Ryan, how many times? We're going to say this again. Not only was it predictable, these guys have been feuding for months now.
Months. Years.
Yeah, I guess that's on and off. This is like Kane and the Undertaker, man.
It's worse.
They just keep coming back to each other.
Well, and that's what I was wondering, Nick. Like, you hear these guys are tough to deal with behind the scenes, both of them. You hear it from numerous people. I don't know if it's so much today as it used to be back in the day. So it's like, okay, is it those guys that want to keep their feud going because they're so into themselves and they are indie dudes and they think that'll get the fans hyped up because, oh my gosh, this feud's been going since 2006 or whatever it is. And so is it them that keeps pushing for this, or is it just creative's got nothing for him? What are we doing with KO? I don't know. Put him with Sammy again. Is it that? Is it because they're tough to deal with? They're just like, screw it, put them together. It'll shut them up. Put them together. So I don't know.
Of both. I don't know. For all the people, how many times did Hogan and Andre fight? I know it was a different time.
Right.
But 4?
Maybe
5?
Well, and they didn't fight from. Now Andre was hurt, but they didn't fight from 3 until Survivor Series.
Well, we hear that feud went on too long, Ryan.
Right.
That feud went on too long. Really?
So get in here. Here's another thing, and I'll get butchered for this too. I don't think it's a secret. I have no time for Sami Zayn. I don't get it. I love Kevin Owens. I don't get Sami Zayn. I don't understand Sami Zayn. He is instant. Turn the channel also. So I know that Owens was hurt by Commander Aziz or whatever his name is. The Dabakato.
The Nigerian nail or something, I think they're called.
So I know he was the reason why Owens is bleeding in all this and can't breathe. Where does Sammy play into this? And why is Owens not fighting Commander Aziz? Why is he fighting Sammy part 72,007? Well, because I'm telling you, I fast forward when this comes on. Or I turn on basketball. It's the NBA playoffs. Friday night. There's good games going on. There was a lot happening. So, I turned the channel. As soon as they came on, Commander Aziz against Owens, click basketball. So I don't really know. How the heck did Sammy get into this? Why am I watching him fight Sammy again?
He just came out. He came out on SmackDown. And I'll tell you this, for the people out there that are going to eat you up on this, maybe I think Sami Zayn.
I don't care.
I think Sami Zayn could be a great manager. I think the guy can talk. I think the guy's annoying. But I'm with you. This guy, you cannot right now. People cannot look at me and tell me this guy. I won't even give him high mid card. Like this guy is mid card to low mid card to curtain jerker at best. I mean, this guy is. There's nothing there. I mean,
I don't see it.
We said this when he came out and he was like the ska guy or whatever the heck that was when his
dancing
career first started.
Yep.
When he came down and I was like, okay, that's he's a cab driver or something. I don't know what. I didn't get it. And then he flipped and I didn't know what he just.
All right, Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah, is that what he said?
He buried him. First night on his very first podcast. He was like, what is this guy? Cab driver? Get out of here.
And I agree with him then, man. Yeah, I mean,
I do too.
I just don't get it, man. Like I said, he can talk.
He can definitely talk. But so can The Miz.
Right.
But I don't want to hear it.
I just think Sammy would be utilized better as a manager. This guy is a waste of time. I don't see him ever being anything more than low mid card.
Wait a minute. Now, you just said you were going to help me from getting murdered. I think you just buried.
Well, maybe. I was giving him a job, man. I'm saying I would keep him on the payroll if I'm there. He would just be managing somebody.
I didn't say fire the guy, but he just doesn't do anything for me. He doesn't do anything for me. I mean, and people, if they're still with us, thank you, because I know a lot of people online are going to hear that or hear some of the other stuff, and it's absolute blasphemy, and we're going to get turned off. I'm sorry, I didn't watch El Generico, so I have no history with this dude. I didn't like him when he was fighting in bingo halls and high school gyms with a mask over his head, and he was called the Generic. I don't have that attachment to him. I just see a guy who's annoying. And then I know, again, you'll say, he's a heel. He's supposed to be. You're not supposed to like him. Yes, but I'm supposed to watch him. Right. Even though I don't like him, I'm supposed to watch him. And guess what? I don't. I turn it off.
There's a difference.
I don't want to see you. Last match that we're going to cover, because we already hit the main event, is, another one. Rhea against Charlotte. The feud here apparently is Charlotte is the queen. Charlotte is the best. And here comes this young upstart trying to steal her shine, and she doesn't like it. Rhea's trying to prove I'm the chick now, and Charlotte's I'm still the chick or whatever. I guess that's the feud. We've talked about it. Everybody knows Rhea has been a massive disappointment here on the main roster. Is she good? Is she bad? Am I supposed to cheer for her? Am I not? What's going on here? I have a ton of stuff to say about this match. But I'll let you go first, Nick, to see if you have the same stuff I have, because I got a lot going on here.
I'll be quick.
This feud in general. Go ahead.
I thought the match was decent until the finish.
Yes.
I have my text to you. I said, DQ, this bleeping sucks, dude. And you said DQ for what? I said, I think she got DQ'd for hitting her with cardboard.
Because
What?
now, if you didn't see it, they were outside the ring. I thought it was going to be a double countout because they were outside the ring for more than 10 seconds. They were crawling toward the announce table. Rhea took the top of the table that has the WWE logo on it, that flimsy whatever. She took that and like tried to hit on all fours, I believe, or crawling up the table, Charlotte, and hit her in the head with that flimsy thing with the WWE logo on it.
Didn't break. It didn't do anything.
And they immediately called for a DQ. And we've seen what? The Spanish announce table, the regular announce table, every announce table.
She threw her into stairs earlier in the match.
Yes.
They were like, I hit her with the stairs. I'm like, those are steel stairs.
Steel stairs. This is a piece of plastic. But how many times do people go through tables all the time? Nothing.
Another non-consistent.
Hey, we don't know what to do. Okay, do this. How does that get passed? How does that get past anybody?
In the creative room, I don't know. I would have just said. So
not
wait,
one person said, "Wait, we go through at least one announce table during normal matches every show."
And not one person saying they're hitting each other with steel stairs or throwing each other and you're gonna DQ them for that.
It's outside the ring. Hulk Hogan hit Sergeant Slaughter with a chair at WrestleMania. It's outside the ring.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'll let you go. Yeah, if you want to say any more. I just thought the match was not good. And I was confused by the DQ. And I'm not against DQ and count out finishes in certain. I almost think they don't have I don't want to oversee them, but I don't mind seeing one every now and then to prolong a feud or, move from A to B in the storyline because someone can't lose there and you're trying to save. So I get that. But this one really just left me confused.
But they already kind of did that at the last pay-per-view because they put Asuka in there.
Right.
And they let her take the fall to keep the other two clean. Or to keep Charlotte clean. And now here we're doing this. Dude, the finish was absolutely ridiculous. Whoever came up with that, and then the person who approved it should both be fired. That's unforgivable. It makes you look. It makes everything else that ever happened it makes you scratch your head. Wait, what?
It doesn't make sense.
What we talked about at the beginning, dude, like Rhea, since she's come up, is just lost. Like, there's no reason, even if, like, a person like me that doesn't watch NXT, who does know who she is and everything, but I don't really know anything about her. There's no reason for me to care either way about this girl. Either way about her. Zero reason. And I'm kind of like leaning toward the bad way just because I'm like, you're wasting my time here. Because I don't know what to do with you. So you're just wasting my time. I could be watching something else, Game 7. I could be doing anything right now. You're just kind of wasting my time. And then you give me this BS finish. That's just going to make me care less. And then, like, they're already both unlikable in my mind.
Who's the face? Who's the heel?
Who's the face? Who's the heel? They're both super unlikable. We know everybody online has hated Charlotte for like a year at least. So she's unlikable. Her character right now is unlikable. Rhea's is kind of like, eh. And now you do this. So people are just going to crap on them. And it's not their fault, but people are going to look at them and you're just going to naturally crap on them even more. And then they're already unlikable, like I said. They do that talk crap at the end of the match when Rhea's walking back up the ramp. And Charlotte's sitting there and she's like, you're learning. And then Rhea responds, I'm just doing what you would have done, Queenie. And that just sounded like poopy John Cena, poopy pants. I'm not going to call him Lashley. I'm going to call him Trashly. Suffering succotash. Hey, Queenie, I'm just doing what you would have done, Queenie. You're even more unlikable. Both of you.
Yep.
You both, one or both of you needed something here, and you got something. You got further down in your hole. Like they didn't ruin them, but my gosh, dude, they're on life support, both of them, and you pulled the plug on them. So how on earth did you think? But the thing is, they must not think that either of these people are struggling. They must not think that. They have no pulse of what their fans think. They have no clue what their fans think, Nick.
Maybe I'm out of the loop. I don't know how big this grunge biker chick, chains and earring, death metal girl. I mean, is death metal in back? I'm out of it. If it is, I guess I certainly don't see it. I mean, I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure there's a niche for it. I'm sure there's people that like it. And I'm not saying you can't have these people, but it's not a massive draw right now. I'm just not seeing it with her. And again, we've said this before. It might not be her fault. It might be the writing. It might be the storytelling. It might be the creative team. It might be all that. But she's just there, and I could care less if she left tomorrow, Ryan. I wouldn't bat an eyelash.
She's kind of like right now, or at least this is what they're trying to make it. You get these like Kardashians or whoever, like you're famous for being famous. Like that's kind of like what they did with her. They brought her up to the main roster right before Mania because Charlotte was apparently pregnant. And they bring her in, they have her fight, and they're like, oh, you will like her because she's the champion. And that's it. Oh,
she lost.
Oh, she's the champ.
At the first appearance, she lost. They brought her in and she got beat.
Well, I mean,
at the previous WrestleMania.
This year. And then she was gone right after that. We're back to NXT. But here, they bring her in and they're like, okay, you will like her. Why? Well, because she's the champion. Just famous for being famous. Like, well, I don't even know who this is. Like, okay, she's the champ. Now what?
It's straight out of the AEW playbook. Here's this guy from Japan. Cheer him.
Yeah.
I've never seen this. I'm sorry, I don't watch that. I've never seen this freaking guy before in my life. Like I'm supposed to get excited for this dude who I don't know who they are.
The last time I saw Yuji Nagata was 1998, and he was losing on Nitro. Like
I got more pumped when they were like Bryan Adams. I'm like, that's Crush. I don't know these people, and they don't build them.
Bad.
It was bad.
I just thought this was bad. And how many times, Nick, have we said, and I'm going to say it more than you are, obviously, tonight, the wrestling on this show was good, but in the broad scope, this show blew.
Yeah.
And everybody who's going to give this a positive grade, they've been giving every show positive grades because of exactly that. Well, the wrestling was terrific. Great. Where did it go, though?
It's terrific on. I watch it. It's good. It's not bad on Impact. The problem with Impact is not the wrestling. It's the wrestlers. It's the creative team. It's the angles. It's the story.
The characters.
Every now and then I'll catch a little clip of something of ROH or something. The wrestling is not bad.
Right.
Like there isn't a show with AEW might kill you. If you're on that show.
You know who good basketball players are? In the park. There's a lot of good basketball players. Some who are better than NBA players, but they never made it. You know who cares about them? Nobody. Nobody does.
There's good wrestling all over, man.
Because we don't know who they are, Nick.
Right.
You know who we don't know who she is? Rhea Ripley.
Why is she here? What is her gimmick? What is it? She's like a medal, like that's it.
Right.
My
You know-
brutality.
Yeah. You know who I don't care about? Shayna Baszler. What is she?
We're supposed to care that she's an MMA fighter. We've seen MMA fighters. There's a million MMA fighters in all freaking leagues of this. I think everybody's got, from AEW to ROH to I know Impact still. I think Shamrock still is on there from time to time. Everybody's got MMA fighters. I'm not just she's a former MMA fighter. So is Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know who else I don't care about? Drew McIntyre now. And you and I were the biggest Drew fans a year before he got his push. We thought by SummerSlam of that year, he may have been the champ. Guess who doesn't care about him now? Me, because he loses all the time, and he looks like an idiot when he loses.
So much loses. All these guys lose.
They just don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Oh, but there was good wrestling. Great. I guess if you like wrestling, well, then let's have Sonny Blaze against Dwayne Gill and let them go. Hey, if we only care about wrestling, apparently Brad Armstrong was terrific.
I guess that's
how good of a career did that guy have?
Yeah.
Terrible?
According to Arn Anderson, he's the best, though.
Well, according to all those guys, if you listen to anybody from back in the day, they're all like, well, you know, Brad Armstrong was a hell of a hand, and he was terrific. Well, then how come he wasn't the champ? If wrestling is what mattered? Because he had the freaking charisma of my coffee table.
Shelton Benjamin might have been one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen in his prime. He was amazing. That guy has the charisma of a cricket.
Yeah, and that's an insult to that cricket. Old Jiminy. Jiminy's going to take that as an insult.
Great. And I hate to say that because it's a true talent. We all love the matches. A great wrestler is a dime a dozen today. They're all over, man. They're all over. A performer like Roman Reigns is something special.
And and I think Drew is good too, but where they got him right now is, and they booked him like a fool.
He's a perfect specimen for wrestling. He's huge. The guy can talk. He looks good.
Yeah.
He carries
a sword.
I think I have a win over him in the last year. I mean, everybody's got a win over Drew.
Oh, frick. Hey, a couple things before. So thumbs up tonight, right, Nick?
Oh, jeez. I will never watch this pay-per-view again.
As if we haven't ripped on enough. For the 4 people that are still watching, they moved the main event of this show to SmackDown. We assumed to go against basketball. I thought maybe they might overrun it to run into AEW. I thought maybe, who knew? They didn't do that. Just real quick on that, since it's a couple days old, I think they just wanted to keep a rating up to go against basketball. That's all I'm thinking. What do you think about that match? I wasn't huge on that. Loved the finish. I thought the finish was sweet.
And that's what matters, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that of the 3 Hell in a Cell matches, that was my favorite because of the finish. It's for all of you why sometimes I don't give 17 the credit everybody else wants to give it. The finish is freaking terrible.
WrestleMania 17, you're talking,
yeah, it's terrible. I'm not saying it's not the worst WrestleMania or anything like that. No. I just don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's not better than 3. But because of the finish of that was Roman Reigns. If you are out there and you are not acknowledging him, it's time you start acknowledging your tribal leader.
Tribal tree.
He is awesome, man. And they're playing this great. Jimmy now came down there, and I had mentioned this when you had asked me, I think on the last show, why they were moving the titles to Dominic and Ray. I think the Usos are gonna get them. I want these guys to have all the gold.
Yes.
You think and this is why I would even say this, you could have had a feud and then him join with Samoa Joe. He could have beat Samoa Joe. He could have would have gave him another guy to fight. Maybe they were scared that he would get hurt or he had injuries.
Well, Joe isn't cleared, but he is back with WWE, so that is possible at some point.
I would love to see him in there as an enforcer, even with them as Roman's tough guy. And I hope we're moving, if we're not, to the Rock, maybe at WrestleMania. But this is how you do it. Even if he fights Cena at SummerSlam, I will be okay with that as long as he wins.
Yeah,
he's got to keep winning. He will.
He has to.
Just this guy cannot get pinned. And Ryan, he's beating the way he walks to the ring, the way he carries himself, the way that promo when he got Jimmy to switch. I believe it was 2 weeks ago or a week ago when he walked up to Jimmy in the back when Jay walked out. He was like, "What are you doing? I'm in here for you guys. That was freaking awesome.
Freaking manipulator, man.
It was so
great.
Awesome. That is wrestling. That is better than any young Bucks. The Bucks matches of your 5-star matches or whatever. That 5 minutes in the back with Roman was better. I would rather watch that a million times over than these people flip all over the ring.
It's the only thing worth watching as far as I'm concerned.
It is. And he is great, dude. The time he takes to get to the ring, you're on his freaking time, man.
Yes.
And I love
that's the whole gimmick, isn't it?
When he came out there, even with Rey Mysterio, I didn't want to see that, man. I really didn't want to see Rey fight him because I knew Rey's not going to win.
Right.
But when he came out there and said, "Rey, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? I'm going to give you an out, dude." And what was the best moment? Dude, he freaking launched Dominic over that top rope, man.
Yeah.
That was so cool. And then he did the same thing to Rey in the cage. And that was – this guy is the best wrestler in the world today. And I'll say it, he's top 20 all time.
Oh, I said it last time. You headline 5 Manias in a row, like it or not. And my biggest thing here is every one of these matches, Bianca, I like Bianca. I do like Bianca. There's some things, but man, it is there. They got to pull it out of her, but it's there. I do like her.
Me too.
Cesaro and Rollins, I like both of these guys, but together I don't, and I don't like where either of them is going right now. Alexa, Shayna, I love Alexa.
She's awesome.
Not as currently constructed. Shayna, I don't care. Sammy and Owens, I like Owens. Sammy, I don't care. But Owens, he's stuck in mediocrity and obscurity. So every match, except for Rhea and Charlotte, which I don't care about either of them, they have something I want to like. That's what my point is here. Every match tonight had something or somebody that I do want to cheer for. I want to cheer for you. And
Ryan, we're missing stuff.
Letting me.
You started this. We're missing stuff. You're missing your family. I'm missing my family. You're an NBA guy. I'm an NHL guy. We are missing tons of stuff that we can't see again and do again. My whole
We're
family
like
lives in
crackheads,
Michigan.
Man.
Yeah.
I can't get over it.
I've got hours of wrestling footage. I still have all my old VHS.
Yeah.
I'm not dogging this stuff because I want to. I'm not watching this stuff and doing this with you just because I'm like, hey, who can I freaking nail
let's
tonight
rip on
here?
Everything.
I want this to be good, man. Some of the greatest. That's why we're freaking 40 still watching wrestling, because some of the greatest entertainment moments of our life were me in the 80s and probably you the same, and then you in the late 90s. These were great times for us, and we hope that at some point, I'm sorry, these people who are new fans who did not see through that era, I feel bad that you didn't like it. You have no idea how good it was. And I'm not saying that to be a jerk.
They think this is good because they haven't seen it when it was good. This is you and me right now, Nick. I smoke rocks, Joe Rogan. I smoke, except for the rocks is wrestling. Yes. We're addicted to this crap. We can't, even though we know it's bad for us currently, we're still doing it. We can't stop.
Like it, and we like it. We watch it for these moments. Like Roman Reigns, I look forward to seeing him every freaking week.
That's the one.
I love watching this guy. He is amazing. And I just want other people, and we say this up and down the card. I can go through SmackDown. I can even go on Dynamite. And I know I make fun of them a lot and I take shots. There are people on that show that I do like. And that I've wanted to see. Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Nick. Appreciate it, brother. We will
Sorry,
do this
guys.
again. Dude, if you liked it,
yeah,
God bless you. But
hey, enjoy your wrestling. Enjoy your wrestling.
You only think this is sweet because you don't know about when it really was. Imagine if you had character development on top of this sweet wrestling.
And great stories, angles.
If you had good writing and character development on top of the moves today's dudes can do, imagine how good it would be.
We'll be the first to admit this is the greatest era of performance in wrestling.
They all can work. Dude, yep. I can't stand Sami Zayn just because he annoys me, but he can talk and he can wrestle. It just, I'm like, who is this guy? And you annoy me. Mm-hmm. These guys can work. Even a big old tubby guy like Kevin Owens, he's amazing. He's amazing. I love KO, man.
Yep.
So
he's great.
All right, dude. Till next time.
Hey,
if you feel the same, let us know. If you don't,
please
let us know. We would like to hear.
What are we wrong at? What do we not get?
We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Pleasure's all yours, Bucky boys.